Hi, I'm Deborah. Welcome back to my channel, Kitchen Sense and Information. Today is the second video in a series of 2 videos on outdoor cooking and eating do's and don'ts, how to have a safe outdoor food party. There's a highway near my house and it's noisy, so come on inside. Stay for the bloopers at the end of the video. A little bit of silliness to lighten the mood after all these serious topics. So why is it such a challenge to have a safe food party in the summer? Well, one of the big reasons is because it's hot. And bacteria, they love the heat. Let me provide you with an example. E. coli, at its optimum temperature, which is internal body temperature, E. coli will double every 20 minutes. So you start with 1 E. coli, 20 minutes later you have 2. 40 minutes, you have 4, and after 1 hour you have 16. And you say, well, that's not so many. Wait what happens in the second hour. 1 hour, 20 minutes, you have 256. 1 hour, 40 minutes, you have over 6,000 bacteria, and in 2 hours you will have over 4 billion bacteria. That's called exponential growth, and that's the way bacteria grow. So that's why it is really important to respect certain requirements around your food when you are outside in a hot environment having a party. So one of the requirements you need to look at is temperature. So the US government, when the air temperature is over 90 Fahrenheit, they recommend that high-risk foods, in other words, foods that need to be refrigerated to stay safe, should not be kept in that heat for more than 1 hour because they will potentially be unsafe at that point. And if the temperature is between 40 Fahrenheit and 90 Fahrenheit, the maximum is 2 hours. And same with the government of Canada, they have a limit of 2 hours for temperatures from 4 Celsius to 30 Celsius. Any food that's high risk for food poisoning should not be kept in the temperature range of 4 Celsius to 30 Celsius or 40 Fahrenheit to 90 Fahrenheit for more than 2 hours because it can potentially become unsafe. That temperature range, that's called the danger zone. So below 4 or 40 Fahrenheit, you're getting into refrigeration temperatures, and foods are safe to store in that range for a few days depending on the food. Over 140 Fahrenheit or 60 Celsius, you're getting into the temperature range where you can hold food safely and there will be no bacteria growth because it's too hot. So the danger zone is 4 to 60 Celsius, and in that zone you need to be really careful with certain foods. And then there's a time component. You have a 1 hour window if it's over 90 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius, and you have a 2 hour window if it's between 4 and 30 Celsius or 40 and 90 Fahrenheit. So what can you do? You're outside, you want your food to be available to your guests, you want everybody to have a good time, you want everybody to enjoy themselves, and you want the food to be safe. Well, the absolute first thing you should do is have all your food in the shade. Whether it's a shady part of the yard, whether it's under an awning or a canopy, do not let direct sunlight go on your food. That's tip number 1. Number 2, make ice baths for your food. So you have a serving container, take a bigger container and line it with ice cubes or the frozen ice packs, and then put your serving container in that ice bath, and that will help keep the food cold. And third, cover all your food, not just the serving container, but cover also the ice bath so that all that cold air stays inside with the food. So these are the best ways to ensure that your food will be safe outside. Even if you're only going to keep it outside for an hour, I would recommend putting all your high-risk foods in ice baths. What else could you do? If you have a big cooler, you could fill it with ice and put the risky foods in there. If you have a small fridge that you can bring out, do that. And if you don't have any of these things and you don't have extra containers and you don't have a place to store ice packs and get ice, well, then put your food out, let all your guests take their first serving, put it back in the fridge, then bring it out 30-45 minutes later and let your guests have their second helping. I know that's a bit more work, but food safety is really important, and food poisoning rates rise in the summer because people are cooking and eating outdoors and they're forgetting about some of these basic safety precautions they should take to keep their food safe. Or maybe they didn't know in the first place. That's why I'm here. So what are some of these high-risk foods that you really have to be very careful with? Anything made with mayonnaise, anything made with raw or cooked fish, meat, seafood, and eggs. Anything made with milk, cream, soft cheese. The only exception to this is hard cheese like cheddar or Parmesan. But any kind of soft cheese, anything made with milk, and anything that would also have luncheon meats in it, cold cuts, bacon, all of those kind of things. So let me give you some examples of some of these foods. Potato salad, tuna fish sandwich, egg salad sandwich, any kind of sandwich made with meat or mayonnaise, sushi, shrimp rings, any kind of dip for your chips because it will most likely be based on avocado or on some kind of cream product, or hummus, deviled eggs, and guacamole. The high-risk desserts like pastry, anything with whipped cream, that's high risk. There's also a bunch of foods you're going to have at your outdoor food party that are not high risk for food poisoning. They don't need to be in an ice bath. You don't need to worry about rushing them into the refrigerator after a certain period of time. So all your crunchy snacks, your chips, your popcorn, your crackers, your nuts and seeds and roasted chickpeas or whatever kind of crunchy snack dry food you like, they're all fine. Pickled vegetables and roasted vegetables also. Condiments, ketchup, relish, mustard, and salsa, they're fine to sit out, no refrigeration required. Fresh vegetables, and raw fruits are fine as well. And pasta salad, as long as it's made with olive oil and does not have any meat, fish, seafood, or eggs, just pasta with vegetables and olive oil, that's also fine to sit out. It doesn't need refrigeration. It's not a high-risk salad. And then a lot of your desserts, your fruit bars, your granola bars, your date bars, your dry cookies, all of these things are fine. However, with these low-risk foods, you don't have to worry about food poisoning, but you do have to worry about keeping their quality during your food event. Because, for example, if you live in a hot and humid environment, all of those dry, crunchy snacks, they will go soggy in a very short period of time, and they will not taste good. And covered to try to prevent them from going soggy. Anything with a higher oil content, so your cheese, your salads, your nuts, your seeds, they can go rancid if they're sitting directly in the sun or if it's really hot. So it's a good idea also to keep the foods covered for that reason, for quality reasons. And just to prevent bugs getting on your food, you should keep all your food covered when you're not serving it or when people are not taking what they want. With these tips, you can have a safe outdoor food party and everyone has a good time, doesn't leave with an unwanted visitor called food poisoning. If you found this information helpful, click the like button below and subscribe to my channel, become a part of my community, and we will build this community together. Every week, Monday, 10 a.m., a new video comes out and you will be advised when it comes out if you're a member of my channel. If you have things you would like me to research, topics you'd like to know about, put them in the comments below. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. And I have 2 questions for you. What is your favorite thing to eat at an outdoor barbecue or food party or picnic? Tell me below in the comments. And also, have you ever had food poisoning, do you think? Let me know. I've had it a few times. Luckily, it wasn't severe, but it's still a pretty unpleasant thing to go through. So let me know if you think you've had food poisoning. Food poisoning rates rise in the summer. We want to do everything we can to stay healthy, not just from the pandemic, but from everything else that's around us. Next week, we're switching to a new topic. We're going to look at what the Canadian government requires food manufacturing plants to do to keep the employees and the food safe from COVID-19. The reason I want to do this topic with you is because I think it will help give you an idea of some of the practices and things you could do in your home so that you know that your home is safe. You don't have to worry about the virus in your home. If you're worried about bringing it into your home, you're going to know what to do. And this way you can feel safe in your kitchen. The pandemic may rage around us, but in your kitchen, you're going to know what to do. You're going to have control. You're going to know how to be safe. And you will enjoy your kitchen more if you have all of those tools in your tool belt. I'm here to help you build your food and kitchen tool belt. Make it bigger, make it stronger. Tune in next week, Monday, 10 a.m. for the next video. Subscribe to my channel. Post me questions, post me comments. I want to hear from you, and I will see you next time. Thanks for listening. Having a party should not be in the environment. Any food that's high risk for food poisoning should not be kept. You've got a 1 hour window if it's over 90, or a 2 hour window if you've got, and then there's a time component. You have a 1 hour window, and you will enjoy your kitchen more if you have all of those tools in your tool belt.